Hi, friends. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about a hopping, leaping, bug eating animal that you know. Let's give it a guess. Yes, a frog. Today, we're going to talk about frogs. I have a cute little story I'm going to read to you about the life cycle of a frog. But before we get to that, let's just talk about some facts. Okay? Frogs are amphibians. Everyone say that word, amphibian. An amphibian just means half life. So a frog spends half of its life in the water and the other half on land. Frogs live in ponds, lakes, and streams. They eat bugs. And the way they move by hopping, jumping, and swimming. Frogs go through something called metamorphosis. Try to say that. Metamorphosis. Very good. This just means that a frog goes through a change where the baby frog looks very different from the adult frog. And we're going to see that in our story today. Okay? So let's get reading and find out about the life cycle of a frog. The title of this is From Tadpole to Frog. This is a frog pond. But where are the frogs? When winter winds whistle, the frogs hide. They sleep at the bottom of the pond in the soft mud. Frogs hibernate in their hideaway all winter long. Hibernate just means that they take a long sleep while winter is going on. After the ice melts, flowers appear, birds return, and pond creatures wake up. Spring has arrived at Frog Pond. Here are the old frogs stretching their legs. All night you hear brum, brum, brum. The males are calling to their mates. Can you tell me what other spring creatures you see? Yeah, a bird and some turtles. Cool. The females hear the call. The male hugs his mate. He fertilizes her eggs as she lays them in the water. Thousands of soft, jelly-covered eggs cling together in the cool water. So we see the male hugging the female and the eggs there. In about 10 days, the eggs hatch. The pond comes alive with thousands of tiny tadpoles. They wiggle their tails and breathe underwater with gills just like fish. So we see the tadpoles hatching there, and they have gills where they can breathe underwater like fish. During the summer, the tadpoles swim about eating water plants. But water beetles, snakes, and birds are eating too. They're eating tasty tadpoles. So the tadpoles have to watch out for beetles, snakes, and birds. That is tadpoles' predators. When fall comes, look carefully in the water. Are any tadpoles left? Look carefully. Do those look like tadpoles? No, what do they look like? They look like leaves. Look here. Are they tadpoles or wet leaves? They're brownish, speckled tadpoles. Hundreds of them float by, with the brownish speckled leaves. Eating and swimming, swimming and eating, the tadpoles grow fat. So there we have the tadpoles. They kind of look like leaves in the water, but they're actually tadpoles. So first in the cycle, we have eggs. Second is tadpoles. When winter winds blow again, they burrow under the mud at the bottom of the pond. They do not eat. They do not move. They just sleep. So the seasons have went around again and we're back at winter. So the tadpoles are also hibernating too. When spring sunshine warms the tadpoles' world, they awake hungry. So they swim and eat and swim. Tiny hind legs begin to sprout. They grow longer and stronger while the tail grows shorter and shorter. So our tadpoles here are turning into froglets. They have legs now, and their tails are going to get shorter as their legs grow. Because remember, frogs go through a metamorphosis where the baby frog looks very different from the adult frog. Okay, and do adult frogs have tails? No way, Jose. So let's continue reading. Tiny front legs begin to show. The tadpoles look like long-tailed frogs. See? Their tail. See over here? It's long. But as their legs grow, their tail gets shorter. All summer, the tadpoles change more. Lungs developed and more. Mouths and eyes grow larger and more until they become frogs. So first, we have eggs. Second, we have tadpoles. Third, we have froglets. And then they will change into frogs. When their tails disappear, they are no longer froglets. Now they use their strong legs and webbed feet to swim instead of their tails. And there we have the life cycle of a frog. Now they can rest on lily pads and leap onto land. The frogs flick out their long, sticky tongues and capture worms, spiders, and dragonflies. Now, where are the frogs? I want you to look at the illustration and tell me how many frogs you see. Good job. I see 1, 2, 3 frogs hiding. And there we have the life cycle of a frog. Let's review. The first stage is eggs. And then once the eggs hatch, we have tadpoles. And once the tadpoles start to grow legs, they are called froglets. And as the tail gets shorter, they change more and more into frogs. So first, eggs, tadpoles, froglet, frogs. Eggs, tadpoles, froglet, and frogs. And that is our life cycle of a frog. I hope you learned something new today about frogs. Tell everybody you know what you've learned about frogs and have a fun time learning more and more. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.